Yeah, 1 out of 10 would never want to do that again.
I'd give it like a 3 out of 10.
I'm gonna take a nap now.
Yeah.
Regional 80901, if you could give us a left turn as soon as you can here. We're starting to get bounced around pretty hard.
Number 901, roger, turn to left, heading 310.
310, 901.
Alright, you get the heading bud for me and I'll turn it left.
Despite me not saying anything, I was totally not cool with that. That was not pleasant, and that was not safe.
I'm Josh, a flight instructor and a filmmaker with a passion for the sky, sharing it with those around me and using it to see our world from a new perspective. Flying can seem super complex, and I've made it my mission to showcase safe practices while sharing the beauty we behold on these adventures. This is Aviation 101.
0991, Addison ground, clear to Hotel Yankee India Airport via on departure flight, runway heading, expect radar vector, show 4.
In the last set of videos, Chelsea and I enjoyed an awesome desert getaway in the Big Bend of West Texas. We put out an 1.5 hour long film covering that entire trip in all of its cinematic glory. Between West Texas and Dallas, which is where this video begins, we had to get a pop-up IFR clearance, divert and land early, and we took a bird to the windshield on takeoff.
Oh, watch this bird, watch this bird. Oh,
After all that chaos, we made it to Dallas Love Field, and Chelsea caught a plane home while I'm gonna hang back in Dallas to rendezvous with another aviator who you might recognize for the next leg of this long cross-country trip. Here at Dallas Love Field at Business Jet Center, I'm feeling the love this morning. As I was walking out of the FBO to the plane, Runway Ryan met me, and he said he noticed that the Citation he was flying was parked right next to 80991. Apparently he has a YouTube channel. He actually just taxied out, so I'm gonna have to check that out later. And then Ahmad, one of the line techs here, just came up to the plane, said, hey man, love the videos, let us know if you need anything. So Justin Seams from the Pilot to Pilot podcast is on his way here now. He actually should be landing really any minute on a Southwest flight. There's no convective activity here at the moment, but downrange between us and Kansas City does not look good. Radar looks really, really nasty. Got the avionics booted up here, just refreshing some Sirius XM signals and everything. That's a real simple, easy task you gotta do whenever your subscription renews. So it's waiting for data there, getting everything refreshed. And I'm sitting here looking at the weather on Garmin Pilot, and this is our route that I think I'm gonna file, but we'll see. But here's the problem. So obviously I'm not gonna fly up into that gap because we're not going 400 knots, and we can't get out of that quickly. Also, that's just flying yourself into a corner, a literal corner. So we're definitely not gonna do that. But what my fear is as time rolls on, it's probably gonna take about 3 hours for this to get even realistically close to our route. The tip of this is what I'm talking about, such that we can realistically go around it to the west and be behind this entire system. We can wait, I'm fine with waiting. We have enough daylight, but here's the issue that I'm worried about. Dallas, down here where we are, has been chronically getting slammed in the afternoon with very severe lines of thunderstorms. So as this stuff moves to the east, I'll animate it here, this could very well develop a leg or an arm out the bottom of this, and as it's all moving east, it'll keep building to the south and slap the crap out of Dallas. We need to get out as early as we can such that we can realistically get around this stuff, but not wait too late such that this weather will box us in and make us stuck here in Dallas. So that's the conundrum we are facing, and just gotta wait for it. We got some decisions to make. We'll see how this goes. Right now we have a clearing. If we were able to get up there fast enough, we have a clearing where we'd be able to kind of tuck in between some lines of cells and try to slip up to Kansas City that way. But I don't think that's gonna work out very well. We would be boxed in by cells, the way this stuff moves across the Midwest like that. Hey, appreciate that. Man, definitely feeling the love at Dallas Love Field. There goes Runway Ryan taking off right now. All right, it sounds like Justin, he has landed on his Southwest flight, and he's probably gonna get an Uber over here to the FBO, and we're just gonna decide what we're gonna do at that point. So we'll just link up, we'll be able to talk in person and figure out what to do. Hard thing to forecast is convective activity. Storms, just like all weather in the atmosphere, it's a fluid. It's ebbing and flowing and creating eddy currents that are right now creating tornadoes in the Midwest, up in Oklahoma, that's right dead center of our route. So right now I don't think would be a good time to take off unless we were willing to go way, way out of our way to the west. If you're flying a Citation or a Challenger or something like that, no big deal. That might add 15 minutes to the flight. Well, in this airplane, it's gonna add over an hour to go that far out of our way. So we're just gonna kind of hang out on the ground for a little bit, eyeball it, try to keep an eye on if storms are gonna start closing in here in Dallas, and go from there. That's the best we can do. You know, we can't go high in this airplane, we can't go fast in this airplane, and you know, in fact, on this trip, the lower we stay, the better tailwind we're gonna have. We got some flight planning and weather planning to do, but for now, awaiting Justin's arrival here at Business Jet Center.
Where do you want me to stand, right here?
Yeah, that's good, man.
My name is Justin Seams. I host the Pilot podcast. I've been doing it for almost 6 years now, which makes me feel really old. I've tried to get Josh on the podcast for probably 6 years, and this is the first time we've ever met up, so very glad it's happened. I've been in a 182 probably 2 years ago, a Cirrus probably 2 years ago, and I haven't flown one myself or been in a 172 probably since 2014, 2013. Bring back a lot of memories, lots of memories. Yeah, so I played football at Ohio State, quickly realized I wasn't going past that. Once I met some of my teammates and other quarterbacks, I knew my potential was kind of reached and I wasn't going anywhere else. So then we headed out to the airport, took a flight. My dad's a pilot, my grandpa's a pilot, and I figured might as well try out the old family pastime. So made it work out. Man, I have a lot of G5000 times, so like the best of the best that they make, which, I mean, that looks really nice in there as well. But when I was flying a 172, I was flying with 6-pack, maybe had a 435-30, and I pretty much had a 435-30 my whole aviation career leading up to where I was my past job, and flew all over the country with a 435-30 deep into Mexico, so very familiar with all the kind of Garmin avionics, except for what you got in there, so I'm excited. I heard the air conditioning works really well, so I need to make sure I get some good AC going.
After a much-needed deluxe spicy chicken sandwich with waffle fries and Chick-fil-A sauce, it was time to come up with a game plan for our flight before we use our usable daylight hours. So far, the system looks like its tail is gonna miss Dallas to the north, which means we'll basically just need to go to the northwest edge of the Bravo before we'll be on the back side of it, and we can pretty much go direct destination. At least, that should theoretically work. Alright, first time in a Skyhawk in a long time, right?
So, pre-taxi checklist, CO detector test, so that little box to the red button, just whack that. Seat tracks and backs upright and locked. Heat vent defrost, everything's open. Databases, we already verified they're up to date. I am ready to grab the clearance.
Alright.
It's always like a prep to, like, you gotta hype yourself up to pick up the clearance, like, Love clearance, Skyhawk, November 80991, information November, IFR to IXD.
November 80991, left clearance delivery. Are you planning on departing in the next 8 minutes or so?
We'll probably need a few more minutes beyond that.
Okay, we're doing a flow change then. I'm going to give you instructions for north flow, and then we'll be going north flow at about 45 past. So you are cleared to the India X-Ray Delta Airport. On departure, turn right, heading 330. Expect radar vectors for the Texoma 5 departure. Ardmore transition, then direct. Maintain 2000. Expect 5,000 Windsor minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.3 and squawk 2240.
80991 is cleared to the India X-Ray Delta Airport via on departure, turn right heading 330. Expect radar vectors for the Texoma 5 departure. Ardmore transition direct. Climb and maintain 2000. Expect 5,000 10 minutes after departure. Departure 124.3, squawk 2240.
November 991 readback is correct. And where are you guys parked?
We're parked at Business Jet Center.
Thank you. Can you, when you are ready to taxi out, can you accept runway 31 right at Alpha 1 with 6,350 feet available?
Hey, firm, we can do that.
Okay, I will show it and you can expect that. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll just hold here, and I guess we can just go to the edge of the ramp, maybe.
All right.
And then we can do a run up right over there. That way, when we call for taxi, we'll just.
Cool. I threw 5,000 in there. I got 2969 on altimeter. I didn't do a squawk yet though.
Okay, cool.
The fact that they're changing flows to use runway 31 is going to work in our favor. The clearance we just got is great. Off runway 31 right, we'll take a right turn to 330, and ATC will likely be able to keep us going that direction under our request until we're on the back side of the weather system. We're going to taxi to the edge of the ramp, complete the run-up and pre-takeoff checklist so that when we're ready to taxi, we'll be ready to take off as soon as we get to the end of the runway. In hindsight, reviewing all of this footage though, I'm about to make a dumb decision when we call for taxi.
We're good. So when we get clear for takeoff, windows mixture strobes.
Sounds good.
Love ground, Skyhawk, November 80991, information November, ready to taxi IFR at Business Jet Center.
November 80991, Love. Actually, they have given us an extra 5 minutes if you want to go to 13 left.
That'd be great.
Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't switch the frequency. We can take 13 left. That's fine.
Okay, give me 1 second, and then I'll have a new route for you, and then you can call ground.
Okay, we'll hold here for new clearance, 991.
You get to send more stuff to
All right, November 80991, let's see, on departure, you're going to turn left, heading 070 for radar vectors for the Texoma 5 departure. Rest of route remains unchanged, and the initial altitude is going to be 3,000 now.
All right, we're cleared to IXD, left turn 070 on departure, radar vectors Texoma 5, Ardmore direct, climb and maintain 3, expect 5 and 10, 991.
Number 991, read back is correct.
All right, thanks. We'll call ground this time.
All right, have a good day.
3,000 up there. I got 070. Oh, shoot. Oh, you can do that too. Cool.
Yeah, you can. You can.
All right, 3,000, 070.
Love ground, Skyhawk, November 80991, information November at the Business Jet Center, ready to taxi IFR.
Cessna 0991, Love ground, runway 13 left, taxi via Alpha.
13 left via Alpha, 80991.
All right, we are clear left.
Will you be ready once you get there?
Yes, we will, 991.
Roger.
Confronted on the spot, we made the decision to take 13 left for the shorter taxi time. But now our on-departure heading is 070. My lack of foresight in accepting that runway change is going to bite us in just a few minutes.
Just give a quick little brief.
22, turn right.
But obviously,
22,
if you see anything you don't like, let me know. And
Cool, yeah.
don't be afraid to take the controls, because obviously I haven't done this in forever in a small
All
plane.
good, all good.
But yeah, it'll be fun. Fly runway heading.
Love tower, Skyhawk, 80991, holding short of 13 left, ready for IFR departure.
Skyhawk 80991, Love Tower. Yeah, I realized, and we're waiting on release from approach.
Roger, 991.
Remember 80991, Love Tower, runway 13 left, clear for takeoff.
13 left, clear for takeoff, 80991.
All right. Windows are closed. Mixture is rich. Strobe is on. We're clear for takeoff.
I'm gonna maintain 3 left to 070.
Yeah. Did you get PTSD when you saw that bird?
Yeah, so it'll start to get light at like 50 knots, and that's when I just add a little back pressure as encouragement, and the airplane will tell you when it's ready to fly.
Beautiful. All right, we got 13 left. Confirmed. You ready?
I'm ready. The acceleration might startle you.
Have we started yet?
Nice. Already at 50.
Trying to be smooth.
Downtown Dallas.
Remember 80991, do me a favor, fly runway heading for now.
Alright, I'll maintain runway heading, 991. I'll sync your heading bug here.
Remember 80991, left turn heading 070 now is approved.
Alright, left to 070 now, 991.
80991, we got your code now, contact departure, good day.
Off to departure, 991 gate. Regional departure, Skyhawk 80991, 1100, climbing 3000, 070.
Number 80991, departure radar contact, climbing to 5 south.
Up to 5000, 991.
Number 991, what's your destination?
India X-ray Delta.
New Century, alright. Let's see how we're going to get you there. I'm probably going to drive you north for about 8 miles and turn you to the northwest.
That sounds good to us.
Number 991, turn left heading 360.
360, 991.
Alright, left turn 360, 5000 is set.
Nice. I like how much you're keeping up with the bugs.
South 1474, turn left heading 220.
You must be a jet pilot.
Yeah, right? Like I've done some of this stuff before.
That's right.
What's cool about the Garmin is everything's kind of similar between all their iterations.
Yeah, it is.
So you kind of feel at home wherever
Really
you are.
nice. We'll see what happens here. Top priority is to not let them vector us into any bad weather.
Right. Yeah, that northwest vector would be pretty good. I don't want to get too close to the south.
Yeah.
South 1474, contact tower 123.7, I'll see you.
23-7, good day, 1474.
Hopefully he's just going to get us right over the top of Addison. And I'm cool with it if he wants to take us like on the north side of DFW's north flow.
Yeah.
Number 80991, turn left, heading 340.
Left to 340, 80991.
340 in the heading.
Number 80991, on the 340 heading, it'll take you past an area of heavy precipitation. It'll be at your 1 o'clock in about 9 miles, about 4 miles in diameter. Once I get you to the west side of that, you have a pretty clear shot direct up to the Kansas City area if you want to take a look at your 1 o'clock once you clear that stuff, your 1 o'clock 9 miles.
Alright, yeah, we'll keep an eye out for it right now. We are in IMC.
Do you have weather radar?
We have Sirius XM on board, so it's not quite as up to date as what you're seeing.
Okay. Well, I can vector you through only moderate stuff on the radar if you'd like, or you can kind of pick your way through it yourself. Or I can point you out to the west, take you out over Denton before you turn towards Kansas City, if you want to do that.
Yeah, I think heading out west toward Denton would be a good place to start with that.
All right, sounds good. November 991, amend your altitude, maintain 4,000.
All right, amend, maintain 4,000, 991.
4,000 sets.
I see 4,000.
So in my head, I'm imagining that by this point, we're going to be turning west pretty soon. We've put that vector on request. And the urgency of a westbound turn got stronger as I started to see the system build little cells 15 or 20 miles ahead of the squall line, which is basically right where we are now. And the worst part is we're in IMC and we can't see them. I'm starting to really second guess my decisions here.
Regional 80991, if you could give us a left turn as soon as you can here. We're starting to get bounced around pretty hard.
Number 991, roger, turn to left, heading 310.
310, 991.
Alright, you get the heading bud for me and I'll turn it left.
Alright, 310 set.
Roger.
Number 991, looks like you're getting bumped around a lot. I can't go very much further to the left without also descending you. Do you want to descend down to 3,000 so I can take you further to the west?
If we could go down, that'd be great if we could go further to the west.
Yeah, not a problem. November 991, descend and maintain 3,000, turn to left, heading 270.
Alright, due west down to 3,000, 991.
3,000, 270.
200 to go.
Number 991, how's the ride now?
Still pretty dang rough, 991.
Yeah. You're exiting the moderate precipitation now, November 991. It should start to improve, I guess, the further west you get.
Yeah, it looks like we have jets coming up about 1,000 feet above us.
Rock 532, contact Addison Tower 12610, we'll see you. Number 991, if you can afford 10 degrees right, that would help with the departures. There's a 737 that just barely cleared you over there. You're 11 o'clock, mile and a half. I'm out of 4200.
Roger. Yeah, we can probably afford 10 degrees to the right for just a little bit. 991.
Roger. 991. Contact approach 118.1. We'll see you.
18-1. Thanks for the help. Departure Skyhawk 80991. 3000 heading 280.
Skyhawk 991 approach. Thanks. Turn my heading up 300.
300 for now. 991.
Yeesh.
You doing all right?
Yeah, good right now.
Sun Country 3045, climb and maintain 8,000
So close to
and
popping
ground
out.
departure 126.47. Have a good one.
Yeah, we're almost at the base here.
8,026.47. Good day, Sun Country 3045.
And Center 35 X-ray, we're getting some extreme turbulence here anyway, we can get turned around.
Sun 35 X-ray, if you want the ILS, the 16 left, and give you a modified base now, but that's about as best as I can do. Flight heading of 060.
060.
We do 2,500? Yeah,
we're
I
getting
guess we're
rocked
I-4, but try to get back below under the
Yeah.
deck.
Approach Skyhawk 80991. Any chance we could go down to, say, 2,500 just to keep us under the layer? It seems to be a lot more smooth down there.
80991, just to maintain 2,500.
2,500, thanks, 991.
Alright.
Can we keep a 240 heading for 35 X-ray?
Alright,
35
2,500
X-ray, would you
set.
just like to go to Meacham instead?
We like to get below this and go VFR for Higgs.
And 35 X-ray. Roger, just to maintain 2,500 and advise me when you want to cancel.
Alright, 2,500, and we'll keep a 240 heading for 35 X-ray.
Lot smoother outside the clouds.
Yep.
Departure Sun Country 3014, 2.2 for 3000, runway heading.
Sun Country 3014, departure rate of contact. I'm going to maintain 8,000.
8,000, Sun Country 3014.
Air 80991, looks like it'll be moderate to heavy precipitation for about the next 30 miles north of you. Let me know if you want to, whenever you want to take a northbound turn.
Wilco 80991. I was actually about to call you, and if we could take maybe 20 or 30 to the left, and we could just ride that until we get around the other side of it. It's much smoother here at 25.
991, that's Bruder's request.
All right, we'll fly heading 270 for now, 991, thanks. Well, that was rough.
Yeah, that was fun.
You had fun?
I'm always having fun, man. The song that's going off in my head is "Tonight's gonna be a good night." I don't know. I'm not listening to music, but for some reason that's stuck in my head. Just getting bounced around. Tonight's the night.
Yeah. Let's live it up.
Yeah.
We're finally getting around the tail of this convective system, and we're positioned to fly a direct path to our destination in clear skies now. But those leading edge cells that started to pop up right where we were being vectored is something that I did not allow a sufficient buffer for, and I should have known better.
That was fun. First 5 minutes of flying a 172 in forever.
It's hitting
Throw it
the
to the
ceiling.
wolves, baby. Let's go.
Air 80991, climb and maintain 3,000.
Up to 3,000, 991. You good with that?
Yep.
And flight
Oh, wait till we
1746,
pass this little
contact
bumpy
forward
guy.
center 127.0. Have a good one.
127.0, Johnny. And flight 1746. Yeah. 991, deviations approved. When they will direct you Ardmore. I'll
991, roger. Once we're clear of the weather, we'll proceed direct Ardmore, is that correct?
Okay, affirmative.
Thanks.
Alright, we got 5,000 set in there.
Yeah, so basically pilot's discretion up to
Yeah.
5.
Wait a little bit. Still traumatized from earlier.
Yeah, me too. It's okay.
Clouds are not friends.
Clouds are not friends.
Yeah, they look so fluffy.
Alright, well that goes into
35 Foxtrot for Echo,
definitely one of the top
Crosswalk
5 most unpleasant flights, or departures. I hope you don't think that I was like, despite me not saying anything, I was totally not cool with that.
No, I figured you weren't.
I was not.
Huh.
That was not pleasant, and that was not safe.
So a big thing that I try to avoid is flying a single engine at night. If you lose your one and only engine in the dark, you cannot see where you're gonna land. And I know the area well, quote unquote, is not good enough. In the dark, you don't know where that field is. You don't know where those power line poles are. You don't know where that barbed wire fence cutting across this pasture is. There are only a few circumstances where I'm somewhat comfortable flying a single engine at night, like if we're super high and we have a lit highway underneath us or airports within our glide, or if we have an airframe parachute. But in this case, I think my personal rule against flying a single engine at night internally encouraged me to reason with the weather instead for the sake of mitigating the nighttime risk. So honestly, I wholeheartedly regretted my decision to take off when we did for the sake of avoiding our flight drifting into the dark. I would have rather waited for this system to be entirely to our south, taken off around 7 p.m. or so, and allowed the second half of our IFR flight to drift into the dark with no bad weather. That would have statistically been less risky than departing into marginal IFR weather with unpredictable leading edge cells popping up that we cannot see. Aeronautical decision making is not black and white. There are a lot of gray areas and a lot of give and take, and if you made it your mission to avoid all risk at all costs, you will only fly during broad daylight when it is clear skies and calm winds. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. ADM is about mitigating as many risks as possible with your decisions. But this flight is a hard lesson in my logbook, and I hope it will serve the same purpose to you. Make sure that by mitigating or avoiding one risk, you're not putting yourself straight into the face of a more dangerous risk. Don't let the cure be worse than the original disease. Exercise educated aeronautical decision making, thoughtfully mitigate the risks, and remember that it's better to show up to your destination late than to die trying to make it on time. I had a long, clear skies cruise with Justin to beat myself up about that.
Was that the most turbulence you've ever had in a little airplane?
Probably in a little airplane.
14 Lima Charlie, forward.
But it definitely wasn't the worst turbulence I've ever had.
2967.
What was the worst turbulence you've ever had?
There's not like a exact moment that I can think of. A lot of times it was going into some kind of mountain airport, like Aspen. I think one of the worst flights I ever had was when I flew the Latitude. We flew from Palm Beach up to Teterboro, and it was max crosswind, which was 30 knots, and the Latitude was right at 30. And it was just like moderate to borderline severe for the last like 20 minutes. Because in Teterboro, they get you out of the way of New York, so they get you all the way on the west side of the Bravo to follow it, and they get you really low. And you're right over those like rolling hills that are over there, and you just get rocked.
Jeez. Yeah, it looks like we'd be getting, I don't know if it'd be, well, okay, I just updated. That's the most up-to-date image. So we would probably have to wait another hour if we were still on the ground, which, in hindsight, I would absolutely do that over what we just did.
Or take off like an hour before.
They got shut off last minute, so they've got
and we would have, it probably would have just gotten dark on us, but we would have gone direct.
Holding at me.
I'll expect it, jewelry pass.
Probably freaking direct destination right off the airport.
Yeah.
God, that sucked. You can also do the whole waypoint thing. So you have a full-blown MFD right here.
Yeah.
Scroll through all the pages, so you can do the same.
Oh, cool.
Same stuff there. And the cool part is here too, you can do it from either one. Since these are both Garmin radios, you can go to frequency, like IXD. It knows that's our destination now. AWAS, put that in COM 2. Puts it in the standby.
Love it.
And then same thing with like clearance tower, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Delay 5, clear direct to News, hold as published. Delay 5, if you want.
So who's the most interesting person you've ever interviewed on the podcast?
Oh man, that's a really tough question. Recently, I interviewed a guy that won the Indy 500, Alexander Rossi. That was kind of fun to talk to him, just because like athletes in different.
Oh yeah, okay.
In different worlds, and they kind of mix, and how this aviation, like everyone can love aviation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like a universal language, you know.
And he's a pilot?
Yeah, he's a pilot too.
Okay.
Yeah. That was kind of cool. I've recently got more into like that kind of racing, and it's been fun to watch.
That's cool.
I interviewed a Tuskegee airman from probably like 4 years ago. That was a lot of fun. Talked about how he shot down 3 Germans. That was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
45.
I got to interview some NASA test pilots. That was really cool.
That was sweet.
Yeah. They're doing their supersonic mission, supersonic plane right now.
Oh yeah.
And I got the opportunity to talk to 2 of them, and that was a lot of fun. And I hope I can interview them, talk to them more. Just because I don't even think I got to touch on like the cool stuff that they've done. I remember, I think I posted it, and someone's like, "Oh my God, you talked to Nils?" Like, yo, I was like, what I missed?
Right.
It's like I had 15 minutes to talk about their background. Episode 100 was with my dad. That was really cool. Kind of full circle moment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I talked to my dad about everything.
He has a career in aviation, right?
Yeah, and if I had the opportunity to interview anyone, I think I can't because he died, but my grandpa would be really cool. He was a World War II pilot, flew over the Chinese-Burma hump, and just I'm sure the stories he had. And he was also like a character, like very much like World War II era pilot character.
That's awesome.
The stories that he could tell probably would get him canceled immediately, but they would be epic and just hilarious. That would be one that I wish I could do if I ever could go back in time.
As you're having these conversations with all these interesting people, like what's the story that gave you the most, like, holy crap, that's insane kind of reaction?
Kerry, I can't remember his last name. I think it's McCauley. Kerry McCauley, he's a ferry pilot. He was talking about how he was taking a Bonanza from over the Atlantic, and I think he like cut the corner because he wanted to save time or save some money. And he was really pushing on fuel, and I think his fuel pump broke, and he had to figure out, he had to blow in a hose to generate fuel pressure to get fuel to get pumped into it. So for like hours, he was back there just going, blowing in a hose to get everything going. And that was just like, catch yourself in a moment where you're like, what did I get myself into?
What have I gotten myself
And he's over the Atlantic Ocean, like he has no other choice. Getting hypoxic because he doesn't have any oxygen, just bad weather, just, yeah, so that was pretty crazy. And then one story that always stuck with me was early on, this one guy, his name is Justin. He went by Carlsbad Pilot, and we always went back and forth on Instagram. It was a fun time. But he built his time by like flying like a champ or something, like 200 miles off the coast, and he was helping fishermen. He would fly over, see a school of fish, and like point it down with some kind of, he would notify them where the fish were, and then he'd go get it. It's like, I don't want to have my small piston, tail-wheel airplane a couple hundred miles off the ocean.
Yeah, and a champ is like
I don't know if it was a champ for sure, but it was something that wasn't like crazy powered. So,
wow.
But yeah, I was just like, the ways people build time is always fascinating to me. Like, I love when it's not the standard. Now, nothing against the standard route, right? Like, your hours, you become a flight instructor, but there's so many different routes that you can do it. It's one one girl pilot, Katie, she was on the podcast recently. She does Instagram stuff now. She was actually an instructor of light sport at like 100 hours.
Really?
Yeah. And I had no idea that was even an option.
Yeah.
So just the interesting ways people go about it is always interesting to me.
That's cool. Kind of blown into a hose to generate fuel pressure.
It's wild, right? Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his name. He's the helicopter pilot on Instagram. He does like all these crazy stuff on helicopters. He's always in films.
Fred North?
Yeah. He is hilarious. I had no idea what his personality was like.
Yeah.
And when I started interviewing him, and like within the first 2 minutes, I knew where it was going. I was like, this is gonna be awesome. He's talking about a story about how he was like, he dragged Santa Claus through a wall, like all this ruined Christmas for a bunch of people in France. He is hilarious. That one was
awesome.
That one's worth listening to.
This has been a much more relaxing portion of the flight compared to how it started. And even months after this flight, while I'm here editing this video, I'm going through all the things that I would have done differently in my head. And I'm grateful to have this established YouTube channel to share those personal debriefs in a meaningful way with all of you right here on Aviation 101.
And center 35 X-ray, we're getting some extreme turbulence here anyway, we can get turned around.
The beginning of this flight required a lot of talking to ATC, not only because we were IFR out of a Bravo airport, but also because we had to constantly communicate about the weather and vectors to safely get us, and everybody else, out of the way of the weather and out of the way of each other. Air traffic controllers are superheroes, especially in these situations, and it's important for us pilots to feel proficient and comfortable in talking to air traffic control and asking for what we need from them, and that's exactly why Aviation 101 is sponsored by a company I truly believe in called Plain English. They've created an app called RSIM, or Aviation Radio Simulator. It's like a language learning app, but for pilots. This is such a powerful tool to get comfortable with your radio phraseology and procedures, whether it's pilot-controlled ops, VFR, IFR, doesn't matter what airspace, they have modules for all of it. You can use code AVIATION101 for 10% off when you sign up at plainenglishsim.com. And start sharpening your radio skills anytime, anywhere. Speaking of talking to ATC, we're approaching New Century Airport from the south. And in the spirit of visiting Garmin headquarters, which is the whole purpose of this cross-country, just for the hell of it, Justin and I wanted to show a full procedure RNAV approach with VNAV, all coupled to the Garmin autopilot, just to watch this technology do its thing.
80-909-1, 5000.
80-909-1, roger, the New Century, wind 1508, altimeter 2969, descend maintain 4000, expect runway 18.
We'll expect 18. We'd like to put the RNAV 18 on request starting at Oguku.
80-909-1, proceed direct Oguku.
Direct Oguku, 80-909-1, and down to 4000, is that right?
That is correct.
Alright, down to 4.
Alright, got 4000 set. Direct to Guku. Do you?
Hit direct.
Okay, I was saying, it doesn't look like I want that. There you go.
There you go.
Direct to Guku, and then we do. Use to vertical speed.
Yep. Yeah, and then
500 feet per minute.
Yeah, bingo.
Alright, we got 500 feet per minute. We got vertical speed. You can see the arrow there. Keep the same power setting, or you power back at all, or?
You might need to power back just a little bit, just because the RPM is going to come up.
Yeah. I love how when you move it, like,
you feel the plane move?
Yeah.
You're not used to that, are you?
The latitude, honestly, sometimes when you, if you, gave enough force to plane, you can feel the plane do a little bit.
You have some rowdy passengers in the back.
Oh, dude, yeah, you can hear them for sure. If they drop something, you can feel that.
Feel it on the floor,
Yeah.
Oh, when my, coffee Yeti tips over on approach or something like that, always scares the hell out of me. Alright, MDA is going to be 1500.
Yep. Can you set that anywhere here? No.
Yeah, tap the middle of the HSI.
Right here? Or right
just the middle of the heading indicator there. And then minimums, tap set. And then put that number in. Yep. Aero minimums are set.
Alright.
So we'll get the nice minimums.
Love it.
We'll look for reels with a VASI on the left. Touchdown zone is down at almost 1100 feet.
Intercept at 2700 feet at Kesnu.
Those are Tech 282, radar service.
Once we're clear for the approach, we'll do 2700 feet in VNAV on the approach.
Service is terminated, contact tower 133.0, those are Tech 282.
Missed is straight out to 3100 to the Nkum intersection and hold.
And it'll be a 18, it'll be a right turn off, and we're going to signature right there.
Bingo.
And like we talked about earlier, if we need to do anything, we will just go to the next airport right across the street. Literally.
Go to the airport across the street.
Literally.
What a day.
What a day.
You've had a long day.
I have had a long day. I was up at 4:45. Chick-fil-A rejuvenated me.
That was good.
Thank you, Chick-fil-A. You should sponsor Aviation 101.
You should. I like this idea.
Get you, good night, South
Alright, descent checklist, seat tracks and backs upright and locked. You're strapped in.
Strapped
Feel
in.
good. Fuel
Feel
selector
good.
is still on both. Carb heat. I haven't noticed any issues. We're pretty warm, 59 degrees.
Right, left direct blue.
So I think we're good.
5506.
We've got the weather. Altimeter 29 or 69 is what's reported. Altitude target, we're at 4,000. We've got barrel minimum set and mixture enriched as required.
Sounds good.
Descent checklist complete. Ready on the pre-landing checklist.
766 Romeo, radar service terminate, contact New Century Tower 133.0, good day.
Contact New
Hopefully we're about to get the approach
133.0.
plans.
Have a good day and thank you for your help today.
No problem. November 991, cross the Guco at 3,000, cleared RNAV GPS runway 18 approach at New Century.
Cross Guco at 3,000, clear for the RNAV 18 into IXD 80991.
Alright, we got 3,000, save that. We're going to do 3,000 here, and I'll just do VNAV direct to there, you go with that?
And then,
VNAV direct.
I stepped on somebody.
Okay, and that should be it, right?
Yep, starting descent.
And November
10
35079,
seconds.
cleared through Bravo airspace, maintain VFR at 4,500.
Nice.
And that's how the VNAV works.
That's how the VNAV works.
2810 tower.
And we are cleared for the approach.
Oh, you said clear for the approach?
He did say clear for the approach.
Alright, so approach is armed.
Center
Oh, yeah, 1500.
Bingo.
2525 Southwest, 5506.
There's a lot going on right here.
Yeah.
We're in GPS and it's going to remain in GPS. We're on VNAV, glide path is armed, and altitude VNAV hold is armed.
What speed do you usually like to fly? Like a
75.
like right now, or more like basic final?
Like once we're past, or once we're coming up to the final approach fix,
Alright.
that's when I go ahead and get slowed.
Okay.
So it sounds like the autopilot is going to, the 750 is going to give us an augmented glide path for situational awareness. It's not an LPV approach though. So we'll let the autopilot fly that augmented glide path, but we'll monitor to make sure that it's within the altitude restraints.
Sounds good.
So that being said, in this airplane, when we're approaching the glide path, we'll see that augmented glide path come up right here. When we are 1 dot below the glide path as it's coming down, that's when I start to pull power back. It'll maintain altitude, and that'll get us slowed down to at or below 85 knots. Give it 3 full seconds of flaps. That'll be about 10 degrees. And then that should time you just perfectly where it'll start intercepting the glide path, and then you just kind of manage the power for 75. I know this is a complicated airplane.
It is, man.
Well, you don't have to worry about gear.
Gumps, gas, undercarriage, mixture, power.
The gear is down and bolted. Unless we lost it landing gear in that turbulence. I don't know.
I got my side.
I got my side.
Who knows about the nose?
We'll find out.
You need a 360 camera underneath the airplane.
And November 133 Foxtrot, transponder appears NOP reset and squawk 1771.
Alright, there's Guku. It's about to hit the next VNAV.
And November 133 Foxtrot, showing you 6 miles southwest of the downtown airport.
So because we have approach armed,
is that correct?
And it knows the altitude constraints, it's actually going to keep us at 3,000.
And I don't have any altitude
until we intercept
readout
the
on you.
glide
What
path.
altitude you at right now?
Then it'll
intercept
it higher. That's how I tend to do it when I'm hand flying.
Roger, climb
just because it's less configuration changes on the way down.
8,000 and report reaching 8,000.
That's crazy how long it takes to shoot an approach at 172.
You got time, man.
I could take a nap.
You can eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich on the way.
991 just
2
remains
or 3, just a food challenge, some buck bags in here.
The aircraft that was ahead.
I'm sorry, say that one more time for 991.
Roger, 911, just remain this frequency. I'll let you know whenever to go over to New Century Tower.
Yeah, we'll stay with you for now. 991.
Why don't we do that anyways?
Yeah, I'm not switching without you telling me it's okay.
Sears 33 Foxtrot, Roger, thank you.
Alright, crossing the intermediate fix. Alright, glide path is armed.
There it is.
And I actually see the glide path alive now.
Yeah,
well, it's not active yet, or not alive yet.
We got LNAV plus V and we can just see it hiding up there.
There we go.
Number 991, radar service terminated. Contact New Century Tower on 133.0. Good day.
Over to tower, good day, 991. New Century Tower, Skyhawk 80 at 9901, RNAV 18.
Skyhawk 80, 9901, New Century Tower, Roger, report Kesnu.
Report Kesnu, 9901. So at this point, I'm just kind of waiting for the glide path to come alive, and then when it gets down to like 1 dot above us, that's when I run through the pre-landing checklist.
Got it.
And we'll get ready to go on down.
Sounds good. Alright, glide slope's alive. I see it coming in. It's right above. Try to get more
pre-landing checklist. Seat belts fastened.
They are.
Alright, brakes. I usually give it a pedal test, just make sure they're firm and even.
Yep.
Alright, lights are all good. Barrel minimum's got 1,500 feet in there. And autopilot, you want to keep it on, or are you going to hand fly it?
I'll keep it on for right now. I'll turn it off in a second though.
Okay, mixture set. We're full rich. Let's go ahead and get the carb heat on. And fuel selector is still on both.
Roger.
Flaps.
There's the 1 dot.
We're going to wait on the wide arc, and VREF will be 60 knots over the numbers.
Pulling the power back.
There you go. Yeah, so the autopilot's going to maintain altitude there.
Ground, roger, taxi to northeast via Bravo Lima.
Slow down though.
Yep. And then once you're below 85 knots, you can add that first notch.
Alright, so 3 seconds.
Yep.
1001, 1002, 1003.
9901, same position
As
from
I go up to
Kesnu.
like 80 foot.
1 mile outside of Kesnu.
Alright, I'm gonna turn the autopilot off.
Okay. It's such cheating when you have that little gun sight on the PFD.
Yeah.
You can just like put it right over the runway.
It really is.
You nail the numbers.
One of my favorite things is the little alien spaceship thing there too. Oh shoot.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the gun sight or the, what is it called?
Oh, it's called the alien.
The alien ship. And whenever you're ready for more flaps, probably another 4 seconds will give you about 20 degrees.
1001, 1002.
Right, 0901, got you on a 2 mile final, runway 18, clear to land, say you're parking.
We're going to signature, clear to land, runway 18, 901.
500.
Stable landing. That was our call.
Minimums.
She's so nice.
Here's NDA.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a crosswind from the left.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and at this point you can probably start slowing down. And really, actually, you can go power to idle if you want to. Got plenty of energy.
There we go.
Right, 0901, make a right on runway 4, right on taxiway Alpha, kind of ground 124.3.
Right on 4, right on Alpha 124.3, is that correct, 901?
That's correct, sir.
Alright, thanks. We made it.
We did. Alright, we are clear of the runway coming up right now. Put flaps up.
New Century Ground Skyhawk 80 at 901 is on Alpha, taxiing to signature.
Right, 0901, New Century Ground, roger, taxi, Alpha to signature, have a good evening.
Alpha to signature, you too, thanks. Oh, we're going to be wing to wing with the slotation.
Sir, 6 Victor Alpha, runway 1.
Are you allowed to call things slow? Got him.
Alright, what do you think about flying the 172?
It was good, man.
The amazing weather. And
does great in turbulence. Highly recommend a 172. Get you where you need to go. It was fun, you know, it was a learning experience for sure. Limitations of weather, trying to get somewhere, tired of waiting, didn't want to stay another day, a lot of factors going in, you know, and weather building up and being forced to have some good pilot skills when we necessarily didn't want to use them. But good long flight, first flight back on 172. Landing wasn't my best, but who knows, maybe we'll get another one to try to get a better one.
So we made it to the New Century Airport just south of Kansas City. Really uneventful flight after that weather at the beginning. Definitely learned some lessons. As soon as it started to kind of hit that Bravo area of DFW, it definitely built faster than I thought it was going to. In hindsight, I should not have filed that departure. The controller doesn't know what it's like up there. If no other airplanes have complained quite yet, then they are probably going to be perfectly willing to, vector me up close to it or whatever they need to do. They're also worrying about flow of other traffic. Under no circumstances are they going to vector airplanes right into the approach or departure path of a major international airport. So it got kind of tight and tricky there for just a little bit. Not a great situation. Very calm evening. Temperature is very pleasant here, and we're hungry. So we're probably going to finish packing up the plane. I believe it's going into the signature hangar tonight. We're meeting Garmin bright and early tomorrow morning, and we'll commence filming some stuff. I think we're going to fly in there Barron, going to record a podcast with Justin for the Pilot to Pilot podcast, and just go along with our duties for the next couple days. So definitely some lessons learned on my part about flight planning, severe weather, kind of what to do in certain situations. In hindsight, we could have either departed way earlier and just gone way out of its way and utilized our daylight because we had plenty of it, or we could have, instead of burning all that time sitting in the pilot lounge waiting for the weather to get out of the way, or we could have just waited for it to pass over us and risked flying into the dark because we have to depart later, but we could have probably gotten wheels up about 6:30 p.m., which would put us here about 10 o'clock. So in hindsight, lessons learned, but we made it safe, and we get to debrief those lessons and talk about that flight, and most importantly, live to fly another day and go home to our families. Welcome to Kansas. We live to fly another day indeed. But just because a flight has a positive ending doesn't mean all of the decisions you made leading up to that ending were good. That's an important part of effectively debriefing your flights and being honest with yourself. If you're not actively growing your physical and mental skills as an aviator, you're leaving room for something else to grow in its place. It's called complacency. Stay honest, stay humble, and never stop improving. Justin and I spent the next couple of days at Garmin headquarters here in Olathe, Kansas, creating content and getting an inside look at the engineering behind their amazing products, aviation and otherwise. They put us in the Citation Simulator, which is the airframe and avionics package that Justin is so familiar with. So naturally, he put me in the left seat to watch me struggle with the avionics and absolutely crater the landings. We also filmed a podcast episode for Justin's super popular podcast, Pilot to Pilot. He's been producing the podcast for many years, and I'm glad we finally made time to talk about flying and training. And you can find that conversation on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. We also recorded an episode about this flight, debriefing our thoughts on how it went and how it could have gone better, and he just posted that full conversation on the Pilot to Pilot podcast as well. In the next video, Justin and I climb into Garmin's Beechcraft Barron with Jessica to get a hands-on demo of the new onboard radar and a piece of Garmin automation that gives the pilot a fighting chance when one of those engines fail. All of that will be in the next video. Until next time, I want you to stay happy and healthy, stay current in your flying, but most importantly, stay proficient. We'll see you in the next video right here on Aviation 101. Fly safe.